Testing, 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 testing. Hey. Enough, man. Enough, man. How y'all doing, people? My name is Tim Black. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. Sorry for the late start. We had to get some things together for the broadcast tonight, but you know how it is. We're recording a live show. We're recording segments to go into our feed, so we got to make sure we have the content correct to do so. I want to say what's up to my moderators if they're in the building. I'm not even sure, but I think they are. I think Buck's here. Let's check and see who's in the house tonight. We got Buck. We got the one and only Buck Bewley in the place. He said my audio is good. Shout out to Black Mamba and Ebony if they're around. What up, Tim Black's Wolfpack? How y'all doing? Give it up for them. Yeah, man. Oh. Yeah, man. Lot going on, lot happening, guys. I got a straight to the point kind of show tonight. Brother was like, wow, man, lots been happening. We got the content that's swirling around on the internet. We know what's happening with the government shutdown. We've talked about that numerous times on the channel. Doesn't seem to be a topic that my audience cares about. Think I kind of screwed myself covering Charlie Kirk. Seems like I got new people that don't care about the news. That's what happens. But my YouTube people that watch the shows, they care about stuff. But it's the people in my YouTube feed, so it's mixed up. I only got like 10%, only about 10% of the people that watch the live streams watch clips. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who I'm talking to right now except my wolf pack. So if you got content ideas, suggestions, videos, stories that you'd like me to cover, send them my way so I'll know what my viewers like, what they're interested in. Because I'm just going to go with what I think is correct. And I won't be covering everything. Someone said to me today, Tim, someone left a comment on my channel. It's not a new comment. It's a comment I've heard before. It said, Tim Black, we love your show. I used to love you. I love you, Tim Black. I used to love you because you were both parties suck. And now it just looks like you just think Democrats suck. And, you know, it's not a new comment. I get that all the time, particularly from progressives who don't like me beating up on the Democrats. They don't even understand my core battle. A lot of people don't get my core battle. I'm an advocate for Black American community. I made my choice that that's what I wanted to do. I want my legacy to be, I fought for my people to get us free. I fought to make my people have an independent media voice that doesn't take money from the Democratic Party. It's a very rare thing. I know there are a lot of people here who don't give a shit about that. But it's important to me because I know the landscape of media. And I know there are very few independent media entities that have any weight, any gravitas, any credibility, any background, anything like any rep, any numbers that aren't already co-opted by the Democratic Party. It's very few. And then to make Black people a prominent focus, a priority in your content, not to just be a Black face, but to actually cover Black content from a Black perspective, to speak up for Black people, that's important to me. And, you know, frankly, guys, I get it, you know. You may want me to be more critical of the Republican Party. You know, there's like 8,000 channels that all do that. I don't know why everybody wants me to do it too, unless you think I'm being too effective. And that's what gets to another point because, like I said, there are 18,000 channels that all shit on Trump. There are very few Black channels that aren't sellout conservative channels who don't have any, like, there are a lot of conservative Black channels. that I don't feel have any credibility. This guys reacting on videos who've never been to a press conference, never rallied, never interviewed anyone, ever did anything in the political space, never did any journalistic work whatsoever, who are just grabbing mics and grabbing phones and talking about how bad, people are. And that's fine, man. This is the internet. Anybody can do whatever they want to do. And who knows, in 5-10 years, they will have become seasoned. But until then, that's me. Until then, there's me. And by the way, guys, nothing for nothing, but for about 8 years, I was that guy. And how many of these people supported me? Very few. For 8 years, I was the biggest independent media on the left in the fucking world that was black. The biggest black independent media in the world. And how many people supported me? What were my numbers? How was I doing? People remember selectively. And you let progressives take me, you let white progressives and a few black progressives who wanted to be big, who were riding with a certain white guy, destroy me as best they could. And a lot of you didn't help me. So how dare you come back over here after I built up a whole different thing and said, you know what, fuck it. This is what I'm put here to do anyway. And it took 5 years. You thought I was dead and I'm back out of the ashes and I'm a new guy. I'm sticking to my stuff. I'm sticking to my point of view. And now you want to complain that I'm not somebody else. Well, you know what? I'm not somebody else. I won't be somebody else. I'm going to be who I am, baby. I'm going to do this. And if you want to watch somebody bash Trump, go watch any of those other channels. Go watch Bakari, go watch Don Lemon, go watch Roland, go watch one of them. You got a lot of people that do that. Why do you need me to do it? And why do you need me to try to destroy black people? Huh? Why do you need me to be both sides of how black people need to do this and do that? There are a lot of black channels and a lot of conservative channels that shit on black people that run those clips all day. Why do you need me to do it? Why is it that you need to hear me from me? You want to buck break me? Huh? You know you subscribe to more channels than me, fuckhead. I know you got more channels that you watch. So you're just trying to co-opt me because I'm sure you watch other people that report on the shit you're trying to get me to report on. Don't they already cover that? Why do you need me to do it? I'm going to tell you one time and I'm going to tell you very clearly. White lady, stop white ladying. Black guy, stop. White guy, stop white guying. Okay? Stop white guying. And corny black progressive, stop corny black progressiving. I love you. I wish you the best. Now, when you want to come over and get a harsh critique of the Democratic Party, when you want to come over and see a channel that fights for black Americans to get something for their vote, that's trying to wake black people up out of giving the Democratic Party their vote 90% of the time. I don't even know why this is debatable. You got one group of people in America to give their vote to one party 90% of the time, and you're complaining that I'm trying to change that. I mean, who's really the problem here? I mean, who's really ridiculous, you or me? I just told you, no other group in America does that. So everybody else is just Looney Tunes, or maybe we need some calibrating. Because, see, the Democrats have used fear. You know, there's a thing called Stockholm Syndrome. You know what Stockholm Syndrome is? I think it was coined, the term was coined by a kidnapped victim who had been kidnapped so long they began to have sympathy and empathy for the kidnapper. They no longer saw themselves as a victim, but they saw themselves as in some type of symbiotic friend relationship between the kidnapper and themselves. They even went so far as to feel endeared. They had endearment for the kidnapper. That's what I think has happened to black Americans. That and a good scoop of false narratives, fear-mongering, arm-twisting, threats, and shame. and also a good dose of black faces in high places who are paid operatives who are given a lot of money. See, I haven't been given a lot of money. All this complaining and yapping and in my ear and complaining and yapping and in my ear, no one's paid me to do the shit I do. I'm not getting the hookups. So what are you complaining about? I'm not Tim Pooling it over here, Benny Johnson it over here, or weren't there some people on the left taking money too? Yeah, they were. I'm not doing that either. So what's really wrong, man? You got one black guy that's very focused over this joint. And you want to do what you can to stop that with your horrible advice and your backbiting, your backstabbing. I think what it is, I'm too effective and you want to fuck it up. That's what I really think it is. Well, guess what, Johnson? It ain't going to happen. I'm going to keep doing what I do. We're going to continue to ride the way we're riding. I don't have to every show say, hey, guys, I don't want you to become Republicans. I want you to become an independent thinker that makes a decision based on what's best for your community and best for your family. I never said never vote Democrat. I said demand something for your vote. Make a decision, not with this foggy idea that these people are your friends, but that this is a transaction and that you need to get something for it, something of value. I don't know why you would have any problem with that. Yeah, if you want to hear somebody who says what you say, the way you say it, look, dog, take your smartphone out, you coward. Take your smartphone out, point it at your face, and go out and put your public likeness in the market square. Yeah, you go do it. You go put your face out there. Be up for people to say what's wrong with your nose or your eye or your head or and be ready for the criticism. Be ready for the death threats and the hate and waking up the stupid DMs from greedy, selfish people with their own ambitions. People that stab you in the back. Some people that you advocate for who do nothing but try to trip you up because they're afraid you're going to take their place. Cowards and backstabbers. Deal with it all. And then also deal with the great people. The people that support you and the people that you agree with and that agree with you, that you have a partnership and you feel a kinship in that understanding. And that's, of course, all the bad people overshadow it. All the bad people overshadow it, but that's there too. But go ahead, since you have such ideas, you are so full of advice. Take it, and you use it. You use it, goofy. You use it. Take it and use it. You be the voice. That's what I did. I didn't know anybody. I got no help. I had a $50 webcam with a built-in mic. Go do it. But you don't want to, do you? You want somebody else to do it that you don't even support. I'm done with you. I'm wasting time. We got real news to get on with. I just thought I'd clean my palate before I go in on these people that I need to go in on. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. We do this Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And to think I was almost on the verge of calling in today. Glad I didn't. Then you people would have missed the benefit of that rant. People always want to tell you what to do when they ain't really done it themselves. And everybody has a plan for you. Everyone has advice. It's crazy. The people that I need advice, I'll never fucking get it. When was the last time like a Roland Martin, not that it would be ideological, but you know, business. Do you think these people that see other people doing shit reach out to try to give guidance and support? No, they're too busy, worried you might get market share. No, only a dumbass like me was bringing on people after people after people on my channel. They don't do that anymore. You said, I had so many people on my channel. What they do? Half of them stand me in the back and join with other people, and it's crazy. We don't care. We don't care. Tim, stop it. Tim, stop. Get to the business, Tim. Get to the business. No one cares, Tim. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares.
What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Hope the coffee's cool. There we go. We're good. So, Johnson, here we go. Here goes the thing. So, tonight we're going to cover Jasmine Crockett and the one and only Letitia James, Attorney General in the state of New York. We're going to have a good time tonight, Johnson. I want to start with Letitia James only because, well, you know, I see everyone's gone live about Stephen A. And that's going to take a minute. So maybe the Letitia James story will be a little bit more brief and concise. You guys ready for it? I'm ready for it. You ready for it? Let's go. Let's do Letitia James. Before we do, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Don't be like the people I just mentioned earlier who got all the great ideas about what I should be doing. Unlike those people. And I don't mean the good people that, hey, Tim, man, hey, check out this story, Tim. Hey, you know, I don't mean the people that are like, hey, man, have you seen this? Hey, man, I was watching this and I thought of you. I don't mean you guys. You guys are cool. You guys help. You guys are helpful. I'm talking about assholes. You know what? So many people contact me every day with bullshit. When I talk about people, I think some people think I'm talking about them when I'm not. There are a lot of people that you just don't know. You don't know. It's a lot of people. So don't assume just because you sent me something that I mean you. I'm talking about assholes. I'm talking about assholes. But yeah, there's some people trying to manipulate a brother. And I have a platform and I can say what I want to say, and occasionally it gets a little much and I feel like it's time to hit back. But I don't mention their names and I don't dox them. Now, the Tim Black Wolfpack. These are the VIPs of the Tim Black Show. The Tim Black Wolfpack are the people that keep this show running. They're the people that keep the lights on in here. They're amazing. They support independent media. They understand that this is a bootstrap operation. And we run on the strength of the people. We don't run on the strength of parties. It'd be so much simpler. You don't get it. It'd be so much simpler just to be a sellout. I'm up here mad and yelling because I'm not. Maybe that's my problem, right? Maybe I need to be one. Then I'll be calm and cool, collected. Nah, I think you're always upset. Look at Roland. He's always mad. He's not getting enough advertising revenue. The guy got almost $500,000 from Kamala Harris alone, and he's still yelling that other people don't invest in him enough. They're not giving him enough money. Maybe a lot of shit on your network is just garbage, Roland. You do know that most of the shit on your network are people that couldn't cut it even on YouTube on their own. How could they be good on your platform, goofy? I mean, I'm just being honest. You got people on, Roland Martin, you got people on your Star app that couldn't build a 3,000 person audience on their own on YouTube. But you done shitted on everybody black that's not you. That's in media space that has any type of following, any type of reputation, so they can't be on your app. So you go get people that haven't put any skin in the game, haven't put any time in, haven't built up a following. Then you get mad you don't get advertisers. You got no fresh blood on your app. You got a bunch of yes men and uninteresting individuals. And you know this, man. So what do you really expect? And that was free consultation to the Roland Martin, unfiltered, the Black Star Network. But here on the Tim Black Show, we have lots of charisma. We just don't have no damn support. I mean, from, bigger networks or bigger whatever. So we do it here because we are the people. And that's just a better way to do it, frankly. I'm too old, man. You know, I used to have a regular job. I already did that for 25 years. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't dream of being in the media business to come and be having people tell me what to do. You know, Charlie Kirk, he jumped the line. Hold on a second here, guys. This is a good one. Charlie Kirk took money from billionaires. He didn't build anything up by himself. He had a lot of help. People gave him millions of dollars. So one of the theories is out there is that those people got pissed at him when he wanted to try to be his own guy. That's one of the theories that Candace Owens is selling. She's not as straightforward as I. She's strung it out over a week or two. But that's basically what she's saying, right? There you go, in a nutshell. And I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not here to verify or contradict her claims. I haven't researched them. But what I am able to say is that that's possible. You know, when people give you millions of dollars and then they have an understanding that you're going to do a certain type of content and you're going to stay within a certain guardrails, and then you say, screw them. Meanwhile, you will still have their money in your pocket. You know, being from wherever he was from, maybe he didn't know there's street rules to this shit. You don't take millions of dollars from people over years, build yourself up to a certain extent, and then say, F them. They have millions of dollars. They could always go spend those millions of dollars with someone else to help get rid of you. I mean, people been popped for less. I lived in neighborhoods where $50 could get you hit if you catch the guy at the right time on a humble. So, you know, these are just things. But if you build it yourself and you don't take money and you don't have your hand out and you realize that strings, big money comes with big strings, maybe, you don't get as big. You don't have how many chapters across the country? All I got is morons going, he was a good man. He loved the Lord. Yeah, he loved money too. And he was in bed with people, billionaires, who were Republican, very much Republican. All right, so anyway, let's go to Letitia James, Tim Black, while we're still young. Ish. Let's go. Look, let's go to Letitia James while us young old heads, can still go to bed at an early hour, at a decent hour. Feel a little punchy tonight. I'm okay. I feel a little bit, All right. Hope everybody's good, man. Everybody just chill out for a second. I've been doing these ice water face dunks. Anybody done these ice water face baths things? 30 seconds, fam. So you do 3 dunks, 10 seconds each in a pot of ice water. And it's supposed to do something. There's a nerve. Someone knows it's the vagus nerve. And it activates stuff. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Hell, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's supposed to exhilarate you. Wake up your senses. I had just done that before I came down. I haven't even really drank my coffee yet. So it was all energy from sticking my face in ice water. So if you want to offend people and piss people off, maybe you should try the ice water dunk. You need 30 seconds. You need the total 30 seconds. So it's 10 seconds, breathe. 10 seconds, breathe. 10 seconds, breathe, towel off. All right, guys, hit the like button. We're on Rumble. We're on X, we're on Facebook. We're on YouTube, of course. Tim Black's Wolfpack is live in the building. Tim Black mug, legacy mug at timblackmug.com. $20, great mug. Order your mug, support independent media, and drink. Politics for the people, Johnson. Politics for the people. Let's go to Letitia James. Let's get this. We know who I am. We don't need that. All right. Yeah, I think Letitia James is here. There we go, Letitia James segment.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Letitia James. I don't need to introduce this.
What is fueling this campaign, what is fueling my soul right now is Trump and his abuses. Abuses against immigrants, against women, against our environment. We need an attorney general who will stand up to Donald Trump. And we need an attorney general who understands and knows the law and who recognizes that no one is above the law, including the president of these United States.
You know what's interesting? She named all the
I just want to clear. I want people to be very clear here. And then what the Democrats say, be very clear. That was Letitia James running for the attorney general. That was her running for a job. She was not attorney general yet. That was back in 2018. Letitia James has been calling Trump out for 7 years straight. She ran, she got elected on the strength of, I'm going to bring down Donald Trump. Nothing. I'm going to make New York a better place. Well, I guess maybe she would say that by bringing down Donald Trump. She was running on doing one thing, the one main thing, and that was bringing down Donald Trump, the philanderer, the horrible whatever she said. Okay?
thing she was mad at Trump over, but then she went after him on mortgage fraud as a civil case, which just always struck me as, I've just got to find something here to satisfy my political base. Also, I don't understand why being a political foe of Donald Trump makes you immune from having to follow the law. If she did it,
her case,
then a jury will, adjudicate.
Her case was not an $18,000 case, was it? It was millions case. If you buy
but Judge, there's not a qualifier.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that was a case. That's a case that any prosecutor. I was a former federal prosecutor. Okay. No prosecutor would have brought this case for $18,000. It's just too small. That's the way it works. But for millions, which it wasn't brought, this was not an indictment against Trump. It was a civil case.
She tried to bankrupt him. She tried to ruin his life and try to make it so he couldn't run for president.
So what are we going to do?
She brought forward a case that she thought was meritorious, and it was found that it was meritorious.
By the way, thank God she failed in her ultimate goal. Otherwise, we wouldn't be bringing these hostages on Monday.
But Scott, wasn't the argument about that case, that civil case that she brought, that there were no victims to the alleged wrongdoing?
That was always
wasn't that the argument? Then wouldn't, if you were to apply that to this situation, how do you justify then charging her over $18,000, which by the way, again, those are allegations. We don't know if there were communications between her and the mortgage company about the change of status for the property or anything like that. We don't know about that. But do you think that this is more of a crime with a victim than the one against Trump?
I can only read back to you her own words. When powerful people cheat to get better loans, it comes at the expense of hardworking people. That's what James said. That's the standard she applied to Trump.
So you think that applies to Trump then?
I think we're.
I mean, she thought it did.
So the Attorney General doing herself any favors by tweeting out?
Okay, so Abby Phillips defending Letitia James, of course, defending the Democrats, and the Democrats. And yet Trump, he went and found somebody to help bring in Letitia James, to go bring in the scalp of Letitia James. And yes, that's exactly what he did. And it's wrong to do that. It's wrong to weaponize the federal resources of the United States government against an individual. That is wrong. That should never be done. That's despicable. It's corrupt. We shouldn't stand for it as a people. We should demand better. We should hold those who do it accountable. My only question is, those people that send me emails about it, who complain about it in my comment section, where were you when they were doing that to him? Where were you? You think people usually get sued for paying off, giving a person they slept with $40,000 or keeping a 10-year-old affair, one-night stand, quiet, Do you think that's a typical thing that happens? Why weren't you saying, hey, this is bullshit, this is wrong, this is corrupt, why is this going to trial? Why are we spending all this money to do that? Were you saying that, or were you quiet? Why are you talking now? Don't tell me you're not a Democrat without telling me you're a Democrat. I want to remind people of this because I didn't realize to the extent that Letitia James had went to be an asshole. I know it's so easy you to feel bad. You've written me, you've told me how bad you feel about what Trump's doing to Letitia James. All I can think is, where did you people come from? Well, anyway, here goes a reminder of shit Letitia James was doing when she thought it was a big win for her. Not that it don't matter, because nothing Hitler does, nothing that's done to Hitler will ever be a problem for you. Nothing, I understand that. But for the rest of us who still have reason in their minds at all, that can hold two things in their head at one time, that this guy could be wrong and so could this person, it's a possibility. This segment's for you.
That's the standard she applied to Trump.
So you think that applies to Trump then?
I think we're.
I mean, she thought it did.
So the Attorney General doing herself any favors by tweeting out things mocking the interest he has to pay? I mean, isn't that sort of, is that appropriate?
No, I think it's inappropriate. I think it's a terrible look. And you showed this before. What the Attorney General has been doing the last several days is every day tweeting out plus 114,000 whatever dollars in interest. She's mocking him. Let's be honest.
Wait a minute.
She's rubbing it in his face. She's gloating. It's not a good look when Donald Trump's argument to the public and to his voters is she targeted me politically. Now, we know she ran for office. She said it dozens of times during her campaign for AG. Vote for me. I'll go after Trump. That's bad enough.
Something ain't right.
Now she's piling on and sort of reveling in it. And if I was advising her, I would tell her to knock it off. This is a huge win for Donald Trump anyway.
Hold on a second. I just want to be clear here, Johnson. Letitia James tried to bankrupt Donald Trump. She won her case. And then what was she doing? Every day she was tweeting to the whole world and to him how much money he owed the state. Every day. Still feel sorry for it though, don't you? Still feel sorry for it. Still, he's Hitler, so you get to do that, even if it is the most unprofessional, undignified manner for an attorney general to conduct oneself. Even though it clearly shows contempt, a personal vendetta, that she was basically a hit woman, not unlike The Professional, Leon the Professional, in The Professional, one of my favorite movies. Yeah, she was just like them. She was hired hand by the Democratic Party to go after this guy. And that's exactly what she did. She went to go get his scalp. She came back with the scalp. At least she thought she did. And she was rubbing it in publicly rubbing it in on a daily basis. While he sat as a private citizen, he was not the president. She was rubbing it in while he was trying to find the money to pay it. $500 million. A lot of people that are talking shit, a lot of people that are sending me emails, suddenly don't remember any of this. They don't care because it's Trump. And you don't realize that you're not caring because it's Trump means the Democrats have done their job and liberals have done their job. Because you're not unbiased. You say, I'm not unbiased, or that I have bias. What do you have? You don't even have what we call a healthy dose of, hey, sometimes people get what they ask for. Sometimes people reap what they sow. What happened to that? I thought that was as American as anti-blackness and apple pie and baseball. Yeah, because beating up on black people, that's been a thing in America before baseball, before we even know what to do with the apples. But anyway, that's another conversation. Let's keep going.
I was advising her, I would tell her to knock it off. This is a huge win for Donald Trump, any way you cut it, and this is a stinging rebuke to the Attorney General, Letitia James. The finding here, it's a very long, complicated ruling, but the bottom line is, while the finding of liability against Donald Trump can stand, for now at least, the damages award, which started at $350 million with interest, gets up close to $500 million, that is thrown out. And the core reason for that ruling, according to the judges, is essentially that there was not enough of a showing here that there were actual victims. And just to refresh people's memories, this is the civil fraud lawsuit brought by the Attorney General. The core allegation is that Donald Trump habitually overvalued his own assets when he was trying to get bank loans from banks and other lenders. And essentially, the argument that Donald Trump made below that has now had resonance in the appeals court is you're talking about very sophisticated, quote unquote, victims. These are billion-dollar banks that made the loans, got repaid on the loans by Donald Trump with interest, and actually profited to the tune of millions of dollars. So it's not the typical type of fraud case where you have somebody stealing money from other people or ripping off unknowing consumers. So this ruling by the appeals court is monumental. It was also very unusual in that it took them nearly a year to reach this decision. The next step is going to be to go up to the highest court in the state, the Court of Appeals in New York State.
This is taken from, I think, today. Fast forward to today where Letitia James is at the Zoran rally to standing ovations.
I love you. I love you.
What has, I'm just asking the question here, and I want anybody, particularly those people that have been writing me about why are you going after that black woman? As if I'm going after her. I haven't gone after it at all. But I'd like to know, what has she actually accomplished except going after Donald Trump? That these people will be yelling and screaming, oh my God, it's her! What has she done? Put a pin in it. Let's keep going.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I've got your back. Hey, it's Tish James. All I'm asking.
Okay. A friend of the show sent me this lovely clip of Letitia James. This was on Facebook. F.O. Johnson.
For is $5. Please donate. Democrats, independents, Republicans, individuals who want to re-elect me as the Attorney General of the great state of New York, holding him accountable and standing up for democracy and the rule of law. Tish, I need you. Hey, it's Tish James. All I'm asking for is $5. Please donate. Democrats, independents, Republicans, individuals who want to re-elect me as the Attorney General of the great state of New York, holding him accountable and standing up for democracy and the rule of law. Tish, I need you.
Yeah. She said something that was very telling in that video. She said, I'm holding him accountable. Attorney generals have big jobs, and not of which is limited. It's not limited to one individual, one foe, Donald Trump. It would pertain to all the crime, that all of the corporate, all of the shenanigans, corporations, entities, industry. It's a lot for an attorney general to do, frankly. It's busy, busy work, right? You would think that there'd be more in this statement, this re-election bid donation trying to raise money for the funds for that. You would think there would be more that she would say that she needs to do, that she has done to earn the support of these constituents. But she's very plain. She's very transparent. She says, I've had your back, have my back, and I'm holding him accountable. Chip in. Big Tish. And like I said, man, I know there's going to be people here who are not going to get it at all. They don't agree at all. They, whatever. My thing is this, man. It's not about rooting for good or bad people. You realize that our politics in America, there are no good and bad people. The good people never get in the office. Good people never get in the office. And that's when I say good, I mean people whose hands are clean. I mean people that haven't had to do things or who haven't taken money from sordid interest. People that haven't had to cave into pressures and make all types of deals that they normally wouldn't do, like they probably couldn't see themselves doing before they got in the office. And those are people with the best intentions. No, man, it's not as cut and dry as you want it to be. This is not merry-go-round, fantasy land in the world of rainbows and lollipops and dandelions and unicorns. No, it's not that. This isn't Roblox, mofo. This ain't Minecraft. It's the most seedy, most corrupt game in town. It's called politics. Rhymes with politricks. It does not mean that Trump is a good guy or a bad guy. It doesn't mean Letitia James is a good guy or a bad guy. But what you are seeing unfold, what is happening now, is what happens when the rabbit got the gun. And that is the thing that's interesting to me. It's interesting to me that they turned all their guns on one guy. Not only did they all turn their guns on one guy, he ran through a field of Republicans, not once, not twice, 3 times, man, by himself. Then the Democrats turned their guns on him, including all of the media, talked bad about the guy for years, and somehow he survived. You don't see the irony in that. You don't see anything. You don't. Anyway, I can't convince you. Maybe there's some of you that can't be convinced. I just find it very much a story. I find it very interesting that these people ran on taking the guy's money, all his money from him, just to have him win and for him to go, okay, your turn. And now everyone's got ethics. Now everyone's concerned about the rule of law, concerned about corrupt activity or misuse of power or something, vendettas. They weren't upset about that earlier, just a couple minutes ago, wasn't that long ago, when this woman was tweeting out, you owe us another $3 million. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be posting how much more money you owe the state. We'll be doing this every day. This is fun. So anyway, it is what it is, Johnson. You ain't got to be on the side. When you realize you ain't got to be on the side, it's not my job to be on the side. I don't have to be on the side, or I could be on the side. But in this case, I'm really not. I'm just reporting what I see. I was the person who was reporting last year that they were going to hang Letitia James out to dry. They did. Because that's what they do to black women. They put a battery pack in a black woman and promise her the world, and everybody treats her really nice, and she goes out, she acts a fool, and then they leave her out to dry. They are the Democratic Party. That's what they do. I've seen this before. I said the same thing about Fonnie Willis. I said they put a battery pack in her back, promise her the world, she got fame and trinkets and all these things, and then the bottom falls out, and then everyone scatters. They haven't scattered from Letitia James yet, not just quite. They're in the process. The next person who's going to have the bottom fall out, quote me, will be Representative Jasmine Crockett. There will be something that was in her past. There will be something that she has done, and it will come to light. Mark my words. Between 6 months and a year, there will be something she will be under investigation for something because she won't stop talking shit. And everybody has something. The end. Now let's move on to our main event, shall we? Now, this is the Tim Black Show. Welcome to it. We do U.S. politics, breaking news, and black culture right here on this channel. If you're new to it, tune in, become a member of the show. If you like what you see, you find it refreshing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and cut on all your notifications. Don't be like those people that don't have their notifications turned on. And if you have them turned on, you might need to turn them off and turn them back on, because YouTube be bull jiving. All right? All right. So, last couple of days we've been reporting on Stephen A. Smith's call out of Representative Jasmine Crockett. On this channel, I've been critical of Stephen A. Smith. Though for some reason, people that know I've been critical of him, you can just go through my timeline and see it, suddenly forgot that I've been critical of Stephen A. Smith. But I've also been critical of Jasmine Crockett. People that know me, know this channel, can go back my timeline and see that. But I've also been critical of Representative Jim Clyburn, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, AOC, lots of people. It's not just Jasmine Crockett. It's lots of people. That's really what we do. We do a lot of calling out. One of my shows is called Calling It Out. Literally. Famous, important, notable people, I call them out. Calling out no-name people you never heard of, no one watches that. No one gives a shit. They'd be like, why are you calling this person out? They're a dog catcher from Minneapolis, Tim. Go after the big fish. I go after the big fish, and then you're mad. Why is he going after her? She black. I don't know, because she's there. And she's worth calling out. She's on TV everywhere. Stop defending politicians. She good. She's a lawyer. She got people. She go on Kimmel. They be being after her on SNL. Worry about poor people sometimes. Worry about working class people and stop defending stars. That's part of our problem, man. You know that? Part of the problem we got in the black community, man, we need to fix. We need to stop defending rich people. Jay-Z is an opportunist. He just is. That's how he became a billionaire, dumbass. Stop defending rich people. Oh, Tim, please, we can't have any rich. Jesus Christ. I digress. I'm about to cut all this out of the video. So Stephen A. Smith called out Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett did not respond, but she did something else, which I find pathetic. But we'll get to that. Let's catch everybody up. Here goes Stephen A. Smith's response to Jasmine Crockett and critics of him.
Straight Shooter with Stephen A.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the special edition of Straight Shooter with yours truly, Stephen A. Smith, coming at you as I love to do every single week. Normally, I'm coming at you on just Wednesday nights, what have you, talking about politics and stuff like that. But I felt compelled to come on the air a little bit earlier this week after what I've had to endure this weekend. What I had to endure this weekend were an abundance of people talking a whole lot of stuff about me because they did not like what I had to say about Representative Jasmine Crockett. She is a Democrat out of Texas, Texas's 30th congressional district. Her work, and her verbiage and all of that stuff speaks for itself. And she has become, a big time public figure in essence, not just as a representative, but speaking out on a plethora of issues involving the current administration and the White House, et cetera, et cetera. And I made some noise last week because I had the temerity, the unmitigated gall to say this about Representative Crockett when talking about the state of our politics in the midst of a government shutdown, by the way, that has unfolded since October 1st. Take a listen to what I had to say last week, please. You Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that. Ladies, I respect. Intelligent women, no doubt. But how a Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying, that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent, the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas. I don't know. Maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple. But it ain't that damn complicated. We make it complicated. Damn, it's frustrating. It really can be. And all the verbiage and all the nonsense that I've heard over the last few days is why it can get exhausting. Because nothing frustrates me more than when people have the truth at their disposal and they choose, maybe not lie, maybe not even embellish, but allow their emotions to usurp facts, and all of a sudden want to use that as an excuse to label me as being something and doing something I'm neither not nor have I done, which in this case is disrespecting Representative Crockett out of Texas, who, by the way, has had an invite to this show for weeks, by the way. Governor's Josh Shapiro.
I pointed this out in yesterday's show when I covered this. What did I tell you? What did I tell you, America? Now, there are people that watch the show, but do you listen? Did you hear it? Because this is exactly what I told you, because I've been in this business. I said, Stephen A. been trying to get her to come on the show. This is just him trying to get her to come on the show. I'm positive he's trying to get her to come on the show. I've invited Jasmine Crockett on this show. I've also invited Stephen A. on this show. Part of my invite was reminding them of all the people that have been on this show. Representative Cory Bush, Representative Ro Khanna, Representative Jamal Bowman, twice DNC Chair Donna Brazile, Presidential candidate Marianne Williamson, Presidential candidate Andrew Yang, Presidential candidate Dr. Cornel West, Presidential candidate Dr. Jill Stein, and all these other people, Bill Duke, Michael Moore, Ben and Jerry's peoples. And just kept going. People. Comedian Tony Roberts, funny dude. Anyway, I just went out and list all these great people that have been on the show. Hey, these other great people have been on the show. Won't you come join them and be on the show? Give me 15, 20 minutes of your time. We'll keep a tight schedule. Crickets. At least Stephen A's people got back to me. They got back. They didn't agree, but they got back. They responded. Actually, I got to check. Did their people respond? I'm not. You know what? I'm not even going to say if people didn't respond. It's a no. A no's a no's a no. There have been other people on the show. I'm not going to bring them up because I'm upset with them right now. So anyway, here goes Stephen A. Smith doing the same thing that I told you when I said he invited people on. Watch Stephen A. run down his list of people that he's brought on the show. Why? Because he's just trying to have a conversation with her. But Jasmine Crockett doesn't want a real interview. She goes on channels and networks with people that will give her softballs. For all that tough talking that she does, she won't only play home games. That's what she does. Home games.
Came on this show. Bill O'Reilly, Bill Maher came on this show. Okay? And more coming. And she has an invite. And AOC has an invite. Hakeem Jeffries, Democratic House leader, he just was on this show. I've invited Jasmine Crockett. I have nothing but respect for her. I just disagree on what she's making headlines for because I think it's counterproductive to the ultimate goal. But yet, here we are, and the word disrespect comes in, and people try to engage with words, you know, like disrespect and implying misogyny and all of this other nonsense. Stop it. Stop it. Can we be grown-ups?
Implying misogyny? Tiffany Cross and Andrew Gillum and Angela Rye and Bakari Sellers says you have a problem with black women. That you hate yourself. Not only are you a sexist, they call you basically a coon, a sellout, a charlatan, a grifter. And those are the nicer things they said about you.
And deal with what the real issue is involving what I said? Willie D, Roland Martin, Bakari Sellers, and Angela Rye, who I have profound respect for. I mean, the list goes on and on with all of these people. I don't have their names in front of me. To my producer that texted it to me, I don't have my phone on me right now, so I apologize by not having those names in front of me. But I'm what are we talking about? How's it disrespectful to say what I said? Could you just disagree? Could we just say, yo, Stephen A., I disagree with you. Here's why. We got Willie D. Put up that quote, please. He's putting out quotes or texts or tweets about me. Let's see that again. Stephen A. Smith taking shots at Jasmine Crockett ain't just messy, it's weak. Dude is sitting on one of the biggest mics in America, and instead of using it to uplift, he's tearing down a black woman who's out here putting in real work. That ain't critique, that's betrayal. Jasmine Crockett ain't the problem. She's the kind of woman who walks into rooms full of snakes and makes the snakes flinch. Meanwhile, Stephen's showing what happens when the paycheck gets louder than the principal. That's sucker shit, straight up, end quote. Wow, Willie D. You sure are uplifting. I mean, I got to be touched. That was inspirational. Really, that really, really was. That was inspirational. I'm doing sucker shit. That's what you call inspirational? That's what you call uplifting? Really?
And see, I'm not Stephen A. Smith, so I'll be a lot bolder. And I know you think, oh, Stephen A's bold. But he didn't point this out, that these things that he's reading were reposts that Jasmine Crockett made on her Instagram. Yeah, these are Jasmine Crockett reposting Willie D on her Instagram because her response is to use Willie D's response. Her response is to use D.L. Hughley's response. Her response is to use Roland Martin's response, not to actually respond herself. You know, if there were things that Jasmine Crockett has said, my beef with Jasmine Crockett wasn't even about what she said to Trump, though I do find it transparently self-serving, and I've said as much. There were other comments that she made. There was more than one occasion she threw black people under the bus on some BS in interviews. She said things about reparations that I didn't find cool. She said things about what the Democrats have done for black Americans that I had a real issue with. I was standing on very solid ground. So I don't agree. I agree that Stephen A. Smith should be able to call out and say whatever he wants. I would be a hypocrite to say he can't. But I believe that Stephen A. Smith is self-serving, and so is Jasmine Crockett. But my reasons for wanting to talk to Jasmine Crockett was all that shit she said, like when she went on the Karen Hunter's show and said, we do a lot for black people. The Democrats do a lot for black people. Like, take my state, for instance. We're trying to help clean up the water. That's important. I'm like, don't white people in your state drink water? So you're only cleaning up water for black people? That's it? Isn't that a public good that we're all supposed to enjoy? How was that somehow a lure to get black people to vote for Democrats? Saying you're trying to clean up the water. Shouldn't the water already be clean? We're a first world country. What kind of shit is that? What kind of response is that to black people concerned about reparations and about black agendas and black enterprise and building up their businesses, and you come with some bullshit like black people should be chill? It's not like Democrats haven't done a lot. We've done a lot for black people. For instance, we try to clean the water. And Karen Hunter did not retort. She did not follow up. She did not hold Jasmine to the feet to the fire. So I want her to come on this channel and answer those types of questions. So I'm not surprised that she's not responding and that she hasn't appeared, because what's she gonna say to that? I'm gonna play that clip, and what's she gonna say? See, Roland Martin will never hold her accountable for anything. He gonna give her a softball interview like he has been, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, reposting videos positive about her. Folks, the money in Jasmine Crockett is made by supporting her, not calling her out. Okay? You know what I'm saying? My demographic is Black America. The money to make with Jasmine Crockett, if you want to say I'm a sellout, you want to say I'm doing this the wrong way, if you want to imply or you want to accuse me of selling out by calling out Jasmine Crockett, you don't know anything about the business. I'm a black man. Most of my audience, I'm a black man with a black-focused channel, black independent-focused channel that also has people that lean Democrats and people that lean conservative. But the fact that Jasmine Crockett is black trumps all that to a lot of black people. The money for me to make would be to be supportive of Jasmine Crockett, not to call her on her shit. Same way with Roland Martin. I would be doing, for me to sell out and go for money would be to do what Roland does with Jasmine Crockett. It's the same thing he did with Tiffany Henyard, which is the same thing he did with Kamala Harris. The only black people that Roland Martin ever calls out are Republicans. We don't get it? It's not that I'm a saint. I'm just trying to tell you what it is. Most of Stephen A. Smith's, I would say half, maybe more than half of his audience are white conservatives. We're not the same. So we have to be able to look at something. If there are 10 people in a room of all different walks of life and all different ideologies, some are conservative, progressive, liberal, medium, independent, middle of the road, radical left, pop, progressive, conservative, far right. But if you said, everybody look at their watch, what time do you have? A number of us, depending on how our watches are set, will say the same thing. That doesn't mean we agree with each other on ideology. It's just you ask the question, and being honest, here goes to my honest answer. Everything's not a conspiracy. Everything is not people working together. Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, Andrew Gillum, Bakari Sellers, Roland. Everything is not everybody working together in a coalition. Some people just had similar opinions. D.L. Hughley. All right, let's keep going, fam.
Now, I haven't heard everything that Roland Martin said, D.L. Hughley had to say, and all the other names that I mentioned, but I'm sure.
Don Lemon. The fact that I have people one of my biggest disappointments as of late is the fact that I have people that support Don Lemon who who are not on point when it comes to media. This guy, Don Lemon, worked at CNN for 20 years. And what does he do when he gets away from CNN? He basically runs a mini CNN on his own. He doesn't tell us where the bodies are buried. Just imagine all the dirt Don Lemon has on the network and on powerful people that he could never say before because he was hamstrung. Don Lemon has been hamstrung by working at CNN. Can anyone doubt that when you work for a company as big as CNN, you got all types of agreements and shit you got to sign? Him and Joy Reid work for two of the biggest networks in liberal media. They could bring down the House of Cards and really do something for Black America. What have they done? They're both multimillionaires. They're not hurting for cash. They were both fired, publicly shamed. And their response is to go after Republicans, even when they're independents, to go right back to going after Trump. Not to call out the corrupt system, not to call out the shameful tactics, not to tell you where the bodies are buried in the fight for Black people, really. They do the same job they were already doing. And you got no smoke for them, and then you come and you criticize. Look, Stephen A. Smith, he ain't nothing compared to them. He's a sports guy trying to get in the biz of corporate media. But those are real guys you should be going after. Who you think knows more dirt about politicians and what's happening in D.C. and all the other corrupt shit than Joy Reid and Don Lemon? And who do they have their gun nozzles pointed at? Who they shooting at? Trump. The guy who's in his last term that already won. And why would you do that if not just for clicks and views and money? And to stay in good graces with people, hoping you could go get yet another job somewhere, working for another multi-billionaire corporation. All right. It's just like, man, we gotta really get better, man. It's almost as if we don't deserve independent Black media because we don't respect what it's about. And of course, I'm not talking about all. I'm not even talking about most. I'm talking about a loud minority of people who never even thought about what I just said until now. Maybe that's good I said it. And that doesn't mean I agree with Stephen A. I just told you. Stephen A. got shit with him too. That doesn't mean he's wrong. That doesn't mean he's wrong. It does not mean he is wrong about Crockett.
It's along the same lines. Nothing but respect. First of all, I'm going to be very, very careful about anything that I say about Roland Martin because he's a friend. I'm going to be careful about anything that I say about D.L. Hughley because I have respect for that man. We've spoken a few months ago. I got nothing but love for him. I am concerned about him not making people laugh and smile as much anymore as he used to because he's more of an activist now than a comedian, but that's a choice and that's his right. And nothing but love for him and respect.
He's a hack.
And anybody else too. My issue with Bakari Sellers is how he talked about me without ever speaking out or reaching.
Zionist AIPAC money, blood money in his pocket has been so for years. That guy goes to their conventions and praises his loyalty to another country.
Out because you don't like a position that I took before or whatever, but you want to come on and sell your book.
Oh.
After.
Yeah. So Bakari Sellers with all this shit, I told people I was at an event and I saw Bakari up close. I saw how he does. He's a scam. He's a scam. Fronts like he's this really nice guy. What's he do? He tries to come on Stephen A. Smith's show to sell his book. Then when he can't, what's he do? He goes on Native Pods and takes a long, steaming crap all over Stephen A. He just wanted to go on the show. This is what a lot of media people do, though. This is not new. If you don't play ball, they come for you. You say things they don't like, all of a sudden, people lose your number. You say things that make you volatile. You're not playing the game. You're not being nice to everybody that you gotta be nice to in D.C. Even people that you thought you could respect, you can't have respect for them. Get him, Stephen A. That's sad. That's sad, Bakari. Put out a statement, Bakari. Bakari once told me, when you talk about me, make sure you tag me so I have an opportunity to respond. I would love to hear what Bakari has to say about going on the Stephen A. show. Do you deny that you wanted to come on this show? Why would you want to go on a sellout show? A person who no one in Winston-Salem, his alumni, respects him anymore. Why would you want to go on his show? To sell your book. See, these are the type of people, man. They get all the praise, and Charlamagne will invite them up to the Breakfast Club twice a year to sell their wares. And they'll go on the Hot 97s, and they'll be on CNN and MSNBC, and this is what the Democrats like. What they don't like are real truth tellers. And that's just the way the system works. So you're damn right. I don't have to support Stephen A.'s position of flip-flopping and triangulation, self-serving nature of most of his politics. But that don't make him wrong. Not on this. That don't make him wrong. And I got the guts to say it.
See, I don't play that nonsense. I don't like that. Disagree with what I said. Say why without all the other nonsense. Got nothing but respect. Willie D got over 1 million subscribers. Man, props to you. Doing your thing. Wishing you nothing but the best. Not getting into all that nonsense. But let's deal with what I was saying, please. Can we do that? Can we be real?
Willie D will have no response because Willie D don't know anything really about politics or how shit work. He's a rapper who put out a YouTube channel, whose name still rings out because Scarface and him and Bushwick Bill were endeared and loved by the black community. And he's played and used that and did his thing, and that's good for him. But he's not going to have a retort. He can't say why you shouldn't criticize Jasmine Crockett, except she a black woman and she really good people. And you're wrong, and that's messy for you to say something. Basically, D.L. Hughley gave Willie D the game. How to get in with the Democrats. The end. The end. Sellouts. Willie D's a sellout. D.L. Hughley's a sellout. They're all sellouts. That's what they've done. You think Willie D agrees with everything the Democrats do? How could he? Then why do he support Kamala Harris so unflinchingly? Why do he do all the shit he's been doing? Why is he supporting Jasmine Crockett? Maybe he wants to bring her on his show. He wants her to know, I'm not going to ask you nothing you don't want me to ask you. Enough talk.
So let's take it. Let's take it back. Let's look at the resume of Jasmine Crockett, 30th Congressional District. By the way, the two senators that represent Texas is Senator John Cornyn and Ted Cruz, both Republicans. I'm so surprised. Okay? So you got them in Texas, and they're doing their thing, right? What are we talking about here in terms of Jasmine Crockett's district? 750,000 North Texans. Texas's 30th Congressional District, vibrant community in the heart of Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. That's the area she represents as a congressional representative. Earned her BA in Business Administration from Rhodes College and a JD from the University of Houston. She's licensed to practice law in Texas, Arkansas, and the federal courts. So this is an accomplished, well-educated woman. Ain't nothing about her stupid. Ain't nothing about her something to dismiss or disrespect when it comes to her resume. Let's get that out of the way so as to make sure I'm not being disrespectful when we're talking about her, okay?
Stephen A. never called her a single name. He just questioned her tactics. He never called her any names. They all called him names. And that's the biggest tale. Even Tiffany Cross said he had little D energy. She thought that was a hot take. Yeah, that's what, that's the type of rhetoric you expect from one of MSNBC's finest.
What's her reputation? Crockett's performance in the House, according to research, and her success in delivering wins for her district is quote unquote mixed. She's active, ambitious, and visible, exceptional when it comes to fundraising. But many of her major efforts are still works in progress, bills stuck in committees, introduced but have stalled, etc., according to Congress.gov. I'm just reading. She faced similar difficulties as a state rep. The Texas legislature's sole black freshman had big plans for her first session. She ended up mostly playing defense, according to them. And what the implication was is that while she's great at fundraising, the challenge for her was cultivating relationships in Congress. And what does that mean? Potentially going across the aisle when you don't want to. Potentially going across the aisle, okay, when it might be in the best interest of the 750,000 constituents you represent. We know you're a Democrat. We know how disgusting and vile you find the president to be. You've told us on more than one occasion. What I was saying was, where's that going to get you when you're so willing and so apt to verbalize it the way that you choose to verbalize it? How is that going to be productive to your constituents? You have every right to feel the way that you feel about him. You have every right to do everything that you can to vote him out of office, or in his case, the people that are under him, the J.D. Vances of the world, a Marco Rubio of the world, a Pam Bondi, a Kash Patel, and others. You have every right. You should be doing everything you can to win the midterm. But what I'm saying is, where is her rhetoric going to get her and the people she represents in the 30th Congressional District in Texas? What am I talking about? To my producers, could y'all play the clip when she's talking about the president as an enemy of the United States? Could you play that, please?
Your reaction to his appointment?
He needs to go. I mean, this is very simple. We right now have a white supremacist that is sitting in the White House. He is backed up by other white supremacists. And if you really want to know who the criminals are in this country, you can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists. Yet for whatever reason, they sit and they serve at the pleasure of the president. They are the ones that were there on January 6th, tearing our democracy down physically. And now we have them tearing us down right here from within. Here is the problem.
Of course, Congresswoman, to interrupt you, but President Trump, of course, has denied any allegations to the white supremacists, and that's why he apparently fired what he. I know your point, but he did fire Darren Beatty in reaction, they believe, in part to his attendance at that conference. Does that change your opinion in any way?
No, it doesn't change my opinion.
So that's the first clip. There's a president in the United States that you're calling a white supremacist, and you're saying that the people who work under him are that as well. While you're in the government needing assistance from that administration to get things done for your constituency and beyond. Okay, that's clip number one. Play clip number two, please. A full-fledged criminal. Play that, please.
Not our democracy. Well, he did say he'd be a dictator on day one. Oh, Democrats, you know, it's just Trump. He just talks. Well, let me tell you something. He is doing more than talking. We talked about Project 2025. We talked about the consolidation of power. We talked about how he wanted to be a king. We talked about in a democratic republic, that is not what it is. We have some sort of checks and balances, and he is doing everything that he can to get rid of those checks and balances. The DOJ and the people that he's going after were simply doing their jobs. The problem is that Americans thought that it was okay to take a full-fledged criminal and make him the president of the United States, and then they want to act aghast when he does criminal things. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the United States, and if we don't wake up, we may not have a United States, because right now he has only been successful in being a divider in chief.
So you care about facts, meaning the Democrats, and the Republicans don't. Okay. That's another clip. And by the way, full-fledged criminal and thug. Those were words. How about this one, where she called the president a piece of shit? Play it.
Because the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes, yes. He is. He is. He is.
Donald Trump is a piece of shit. That's what she said. That's the third one. There's another one here where she's talking about how the GOP doesn't care about facts, but the Democrats do. You just heard that. There was also another one where she called them again a white supremacist. But it didn't just stop there. She went to her own governor of the state of Texas, who's in a wheelchair, by the way. Keep that in mind. And listen to what she said about him.
We in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes.
You know, Stephen A. bringing this up. I mean, I'm glad he brought it up, but you know, it kind of sucks because these are all things that I've said on this channel. And I pointed out that when I've done segments about the symbolism of the Democratic Party and how Black America needs solutions, not symbols. As I'm advocating for Black America, I point out one of the main people that they say is a fighter for the people does a lot of smoke, blows a lot of smoke, and does a lot of dumb things and says things that doesn't help anyone. How the hell calling your governor, criticizing and mocking your governor's disability, the man will never walk again? How does that make sense? And you know, the Democrats, they didn't even bench her for that shit. So, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is horrible. Lauren Boebert was horrible. These are horrible people. They said horrible, cruel things. How's Jasmine Crockett any better? It's just your person. You got a person saying horrible shit, they got a person saying horrible shit. That's it. That's all.
Governor Hot Wheels. And the only thing that is hot about him is that he's a hot ass mess. And that's going to serve 750,000 constituency in the 30th District of Texas.
We like that, girl. That's on fire. That's just keeping it real. She's talking like the people talk. That's how real people talk. Hot ass mess. That's right. You say that. We love it. And when the rabbit get the gun, when the pendulum swings the other way, when it's time, once people get tired and they come for her, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You put a battery in her back, you make her a star, and then she falls. That's what I'm saying is gonna happen. It's not that I wish it's gonna happen. It's not that I'm making it happen. This is, I've been around. You don't get old being no damn fool. It's the inevitable. You can't shit on everybody and then not expect shit in return. And she's not even fighting to get anything. It's just to score points and go viral. It's basically, Jasmine Crockett's basically a TikToker with cred. That's it. She's a TikToker with cred. That's why she was dancing to the Kendrick Lamar songs and doing all the other shit. That's all. I know you wanted to be deeper than that. That's what she is, man. I think Jasmine Crockett's going to gladly leave Congress in a couple years, if not pushed out. And then she'll be a talk show type person. Because that's really what she's good at. She's good at talking and saying a bunch of shit. Jasmine Crockett, you know I'm right. Come on, let me hold up. Jasmine Crockett, you know I'm right. You know it. You know this shit ain't for you. You don't like all this tedious writing of laws and all that bullshit. just want to be able to use your voice and just talking. Captivate the room with roasting people and shit. You might go on tour. I see it now. Jasmine Crockett, Charleston White. Yeah. I can see it. Tell me y'all can't see that. I see it, man.
That is what I was saying. Never mind what she feels. Never mind whatever level of justification you may have towards feeling the way that you feel. When you're in her position, that's not going to get you anywhere. That's what I was saying. What I was saying was this educated, brilliant black woman representing over 750,000 people is engaging in verbiage and rhetoric for the streets. And that's fine when you're in the streets. How many of y'all bring the streets to the table when you're at the negotiating table trying to get a deal done? How many of you are able to think that for a second that you're able to bring street verbiage to Capitol Hill and that's going to work for you? You literally have senators and congressional figures on Capitol Hill on the side of the Republicans telling the networks, whether it's Fox News, News Nation, or anybody else, please, please, please put her front and center on camera. Why would they do that? Because they know it wins for them. And what I was saying was, I appreciate her passion, her intellect, the fact that her heart and her willingness to be courageous and all of those things are in the right place. But my God, isn't it about winning too? Ain't it about getting it done? No. How about positioning yourself, since Jasmine Crockett was on the record stating that we got to keep our eyes on the federal courts because the conservative federal courts are putting forth rules and regulations, policies, and fiduciary and judicial things that serve to benefit one side of our country, but not necessarily all sides. Well, wouldn't that mean that you'd want to become a judge? You are a lawyer by trade. You are licensed to practice law in Texas, Arkansas, and the federal courts. Wouldn't you be somebody that we'd want on the courts, or at least on committees, having a strong arm towards dictating who ends up on the courts? Not just the Supreme Court, but federal courts throughout this country? Because that's what senators do, right? Wouldn't you want to position yourself to be able to beat a Ted Cruz or a Senator Cornyn? I'm talking about winning. I'm talking about winning. And listen, I voted for Kamala Harris.
Oh, God.
And I voted for her because I said, even though I wasn't fond of her as a candidate, I certainly thought that she would be more willing to work across the aisle and work with more congressional and Senate representatives than he would. I certainly felt like we wouldn't be hearing words like authoritarianism and dictators and stuff like that.
Republicans were calling Obama those same things when Obama was president. You just didn't pay attention to it. Liberal media did not report it, so most people didn't hear about it. You weren't so chummy with Chris Cuomo at the time. But they were calling him the same thing. Obama signed a lot of executive orders. Trump has signed, in fact, Obama signed more executive orders than Trump. It says Trump did so many so rapidly in such a short amount of time. But Obama still has signed more executive orders than Trump. But it's just the media. The media, the way it's like the media reports it. Sort of like, you know, I don't know. You know, if you catch somebody on camera doing something, you know, that says volumes. Doesn't matter if other people did it. It's who got the camera on repeat and who has a video going viral of them doing so.
I knew that. So I get where you're coming from. But when you talk about we're honest, they're not. Were you honest when you chose Hillary and you shoved aside Bernie Sanders as a party? Were you honest when you chose Biden and you shoved aside everybody else because it was his turn? Were you honest when you bypassed a primary and made sure to ensure that Kamala Harris was the Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States when all of you knew, you knew that Biden was finished. You knew he had no business staying in the presidency. You knew that you could have influenced things in a way that would have forced him out. We would have had a primary and the best candidate for the job would have been running against Trump last November. You knew that. But like 2016, like 2020, as was the case in 2024, and unlike the Republicans, the conservatives, the elite chose our candidate.
He said the elite chose our candidate. And that's the thing with Stephen A. Smith. All that talking just to say our candidate. He's a Democrat. That's his party. And he's not even allowed to criticize people within his party. And at the end of the day, he'll vote for him. He just said he goes do all this talking just to support Kamala anyway. All this yipping and yapping just to claim a party that hasn't had a decent, proper primary in 12 years. I've been reporting that. There are goofies, like I pointed out earlier today, who criticize me for not going at Republicans more. Meanwhile, we got a party that hasn't had a real primary in 12 years. And they don't think that that deserves a supreme amount of focus. Black people vote for the Democratic Party 90% of the time, and they haven't had a fucking primary in 12 years. And you think I should cover Trump? Fuck out of here. Fuck all y'all. I'm done talking about it. Either you're dumb or you're an op. It's either one. You're either dumb, it's a box of rocks, or you're an op. You're up here stealing from black people. You know, they say if you're going to steal from me, if you're going to rob us, at least use a gun. Don't be a fucking con artist. And do shit like a snake. Look me in the eye and put the gun in my face. It's the least you could do. Anyway, guys, what do you think about Stephen A's tirade? His response? Jasmine Crockett, in my opinion, is a coward. She let DL and Willie D speak for her. All that mouth she got everywhere, for everyone and everything, but she can't speak up for herself? I don't expect you to come on Little Tim Black's show. Who's that guy? Fuck him. You know what you said, Tiffany Cross? Then you lost your gig, and I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? You let that coward Jason Johnson? People got long memories in this business. I have long memories too. Back to my point, Jasmine Crockett will not come on my show. I get it. I'm not big enough. Fine. You won't go on Stephen A's show, but you will retweet or repost other people shitting on him about talking about you, but you won't respond? Because he might ask you a real question and then shut the fuck up and let you answer. And then the word salad will commence. Very much reminiscent of Kamala Harris. Black America, we gotta be tired. It's okay to be tired of the bullshit. It's okay not to have a party. You don't have a party now. Black America, you are single. You're single. You out here doing it on your own. You think you're with somebody, but you're not. You don't have a party. And welcome to the rest of the world. Working class Americans don't have a party. That's what the whites have been complaining about. Yeah, that's what working class white people have been complaining about. Not everybody's racist as you think. They've been complaining that they don't have a party. You don't either. You got a couple black people that have been hired to make it look like you do. But you don't. And they just brought in 10 million to 20 million new Negroes, new ninjas. So now you're losing all your voting power. And who's telling you to shut up and not talk about it? All the people that benefit, all the people that make money off the Democrats, all the people that are multimillionaires, like Van Lathan, Tiffany, and whatever these people, and Angela Rye. When was the last time Charlamagne talked about this shit? Multimillionaires who made money off the Democrats ain't gonna say shit about the plight of all the working class blacks that are screwed. And white people are screwed too. Working class people are gonna take a hit on this. Meanwhile, they got you talking about inflation being up when it's at 2.9%. Under Biden, it was at fucking 9%. The Democrats are telling you, just chill, man. He's got it under control. The inflation was 3 times worse under Biden. And they sold you a narrative that Trump's tanking the economy. I mean, do we know what the tank is? You know, when you look at the gas tank and you see the red markers by the E, that's how it was under Biden. And you were still fine, like, no problems. See, we were walking around with a gas can stuck on the side of the road under Biden. So anyway, that's it. Look, we need to grow up. We need to be responsible. No one's telling you to go support Trump. Trump already won. Okay, he already won. The election's over. Kamala going around doing her book sales, trying to maintain relevancy, trying to cash in on her failed campaign that blew $2 billion. And she took money out of the hands, the purses, the change purses and the bra straps of working class women and gave it to Oprah and Roland and Al Sharpton. And you're not even mad about it. You're more mad at me for calling her out for it. Are you Sorrow girls? She couldn't even bother to come out on election night and thank you for your service. She was too upset. Let's have been a black man. To quote Torrin Walker, you can't say you support black people if you don't support straight black men. All right, my name is Tim Black. Thank you for being here. Become a member of the Tim Black Show. Go to timblacktv.com. Become a member. Go to jointimblack.com. I want to thank my Tim Black Wolfpack for having my back. I got your back. We're going to keep riding till the wheels fall off. You don't got to agree with Stephen A's politics. He's right. He's not right for the same reasons that I think he should be right for. I'd rather hold Jasmine Crockett accountable for the things she said besides the Trump shit. I mean, that's goofy. I'm not here to defend Trump. Stephen A., you sound like you're doing a bunch of Trump defending. That's not what I'm on. I'm not on that. It's the use of blackness I get tired of. Oh, black people this, black people that, and black. And I'm like, and my people and whatever. And then I say, well, what you fighting for black people? What you trying to get for us? No plan, no ideas. They're just like name dropping black people. Black people are struggling. Okay, what's the plan for that? Oh, nothing. No plan at all. So I got an issue with not just her, the entire Democratic Party. She just happens to be one of the most vocal people in a party that I am calling out. All right, guys, let's jump in the comments section real quick and then say goodnight. Who's in the building, Johnson? Hit like wherever you are. If you're on Rumble or X or Facebook or YouTube, hit the like button. I appreciate y'all. This thing is scrolling. I'm scrolling. Willie Mays says he's sick and tired of being sick and tired. Taxation without representation, Katrina. Lady Gaga sold out to the Dems. Didn't know that. It's not because your channel isn't big, it's because you ask questions and will also follow up questions. Dems only show up to Glaze Fest disguised as interviews. Yeah, sort of like what Van Jones does. I'm sorry, Van Lathan. Shamichael Singleton, I'm still waiting for an invite. And push my content on your network. What's going on, dude? I'm about to call Shamichael, see what's happening. Yeah. Thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you, guys. That's it. That's what tethers do. Yeah, life in your eyes, man. I thank you, man. That's it, Johnson. Y'all have a great day, man. I'll see you back here Wednesday. And everybody be safe. Remember, love. Remember, like I always say, don't let anybody take your cornbread. Whether they're Democrats, independents, or Republicans, or MAGA, or whatever that is. Keeping our cornbread and fighting the system is bipartisan. We go after whoever. And let's just keep it real. That's it. Let's keep it as real as we can. Let's be as honest as we can. We ain't perfect, but we striving for one goal. Realness, truth, justice. I'm fighting for the middle class. I'm fighting for Black American, not elites, Black American working class people, man. There ain't no billions, ain't no millions in that. It's got me a little upset. I'm sorry the way I opened this show tonight, but Jesus Johnson, I'm the ultimate underdog. How much money they made off of pretending like they cared about Palestinians? Yeah, a lot of these YouTubers did that. It was a lot of money to be made. They're not even talking about the ceasefire. Because ain't no money in a ceasefire. There was no money in a ceasefire. One day you're going to wake up and realize you're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. All right, that's it. I do this for lots of reasons, but one of the main reasons is because of these kids, man. Where are my ladies? Where are my ladies?
Now, there you go. I can't wait till it's my